On the first night back in his mother's hometown, Tin Tin sat by the window, gazing out at the mist-covered fields. A cold wind swept through the bamboo grove, carrying the sound of dogs howling, long, chilling cries that echoed through the night. He turned to his mother. "Mom, why do the dogs keep howling here?" His mother was folding a blanket. She answered softly, "Sometimes strange things happen in this village. People say dogs can see what we can't." "You mean ghosts?" "Shh, don't say such things," she scolded, her voice trembling a little. "You'll bring bad luck if you talk nonsense." Tin Tin fell silent, but his bright eyes stayed fixed on the darkness outside, as if searching for an answer hidden deep within the night. The next morning, the mournful sound of funeral horns echoed across the village. People crowded in front of Mr. Hoy's house, one of the two most powerful men in the region. A woman wailed beside her husband's body, while villagers whispered outside the gate. "Mr. Hoy died in such a strange way," one said. "The door was locked from the inside, but his body was mauled like by a wild beast." "The bite marks were huge. No normal dog could have done that," another added. Tin Tin looked down at the ground and saw deep footprints, twice the size of a man's hand. Stranger still, the shape was twisted, half paw, half human hand. He crouched and took notes in the small notebook he carried. A mysterious death, no murderer. The little detective inside him awoke. That afternoon, while Tin Tin's mother went to the market, the villagers were still gossiping. "Hoy's dead. Lou won't be far behind," the fish seller muttered. "Those two have done too many bad things." "Yeah, I heard Lou screams every night. Says a black dog keeps calling his name." Tin Tin leaned closer and asked quietly, "What did those men do that everyone hates them so much?" The woman glanced around and lowered her voice. "Years ago, they ruined the daughter of old Kong, the man who lived by the forest. The poor girl took her own life in shame. Kong went mad afterward, shut himself away, drawing talismans all day. They say he's dead now." Tin Tin froze. In his mind, pieces of the puzzle started to fall into place. That night, a fierce wind swept through the village. The dogs howled again. Tin Tin couldn't sleep. From far away came a terrified scream. "Go away! Please, don't come back!" Tin Tin ran to the window and saw a flickering oil lamp coming from Lou's house. Then a massive dark shadow darted across the dirt road. The next morning, Lou was found dead, in the exact same way as Hoy. Panic spread. Doors were bolted shut before sunset. No one dared mention the deaths anymore. But Tin Tin wouldn't let it go. He asked his mother, "Mom, was there really a man named Kong living by the forest?" She nodded, eyes distant. "Yes. He used to be a good healer, kind and gentle. But after his daughter died, he stopped speaking to anyone. He only wrote strange words and burned incense every day, until he passed away in that same house." Tin Tin whispered, "I have to see it for myself." "Don't," his mother grabbed his hand, terrified. "People say that place is haunted." But that night, Tin Tin went anyway. Kang's house stood at the end of a narrow trail, buried under fallen leaves. Moss crept up the walls, the roof sagged and bare. Tin Tin pushed open the door. Its hinges groaned in protest. The air inside was icy cold. Dampness mixed with the faint scent of burnt incense. On the altar, the incense bowl was overturned, ash scattered everywhere. The walls were plastered with faded yellow talismans, and in the center hung a painting of a black dog with 3 eyes and a mouthful of fangs. On the dirt floor lay an old leather notebook. Tin Tin opened it, the handwriting shaky and uneven. Open quote, "They took my daughter. No one helped. I will make them taste true suffering." Close quote. Open quote, "On the night of the blood moon I shall summon the demon dog. The blood of a black hound, the ashes of a soul, merged as one. From now on, it shall be my hands, my eyes." Close quote. Tin Tin shivered and looked up. In the corner lay a broken iron cage, twisted as if bent from the inside out. Then came a faint scratching sound at the window. Something was clawing the wooden frame. Tin Tin held his breath, flashed his flashlight, and caught a glimpse of a massive black shadow gliding past, white mist curling from its breath. He ran as fast as he could back toward the village, heart pounding wildly. The next morning, Tin Tin went to see the old shaman. "Master, is it true? Did Mr. Kang really summon a demon?" The shaman stared at him for a long moment before replying, "He did, but when the summoner dies without sealing the beast, the demon loses its master. Then it wanders, killing the guilty or anyone it finds." "Is there a way to banish it?" Tin Tin asked. "Only one. You must use a peachwood sword, strike it 3 times under the blood moon, and recite the sacred incantation. But beware, if your heart falters, it will devour your soul instantly. Tin Tin nodded firmly. I'll do it, with you. That night, under the full moon, the entire village lay silent. The wind hissed through the roofs. Tin Tin and the shaman stood in the temple yard, each holding a peachwood sword stained with rooster's blood. Suddenly, the ground trembled. The wind roared so fiercely that their oil lamp blew out. At the end of the dirt path, a massive black shadow crawled into view, eyes glowing red, teeth glinting in the dark. The shaman shouted, "Demon dog, return to the earth from which you came." The creature roared and charged. Tintin stepped forward, swung his sword. Sparks of red light burst from the wooden blade, slashing through the air. "The second strike!" yelled the shaman. Tintin screamed, "Go! Mr. Kong, wherever your spirit is, take it away." The demon howled, eyes blazing like twin blood suns, then lunged. The shaman struck the third blow. The peachwood blade hit its body and burst into blue fire. The temple yard glowed bright with flames. The howling turned into low groans, then faded into silence. When the smoke cleared, only a black streak of ash remained on the ground. By dawn, Tin Tin and the shaman sat beneath the temple eaves, exhausted. The shaman gave a weary smile. "It's been driven away, but I can't promise it's gone for good." Tin Tin looked up at the pale sky, whispering, "Maybe its hatred hasn't ended yet. It's just left this place for now." The shaman nodded slowly. "When men plant vengeance, demons merely carry it out for them." Tin Tin tightened his grip on the notebook and stared toward the misty fields. In the distance, a single dog's howl echoed faintly, then stopped. He murmured, "It'll come again someday. As long as people keep feeding their hate." Then Tin Tin turned and walked away, leaving behind the damp, haunted village, and the faint trace of ash still smoldering on the ground. A light rain began to fall, dampening the ground still stained with black ash from the night the demon hound was driven away. But deep down, Tin Tin knew it hadn't vanished completely. Lately, the howling of dogs had returned, but this time it sounded broken, like a strangled laugh echoing through the night. Tin Tin sat inside the old shaman's hut. On the table lay freshly written talismans, and the scent of burning incense filled the air. "Master," Tin Tin said, gripping the charred peachwood sword tightly. "I think it's still here." The shaman frowned. "Yes, demons don't die, they just lose their form. When resentment gathers again, it'll find something new to possess." "How do we find it then?" Tin Tin asked. The old man smiled faintly and pulled out a small bottle filled with black ash. "In here lies part of its lingering soul. Pour it on the ground and we'll see its path. But remember, don't touch it." Tin Tin blinked. "What if I accidentally fall into it? Then it'll take your body for a ride." "Ah, fun." Night fell. The two of them made their way to the graveyard at the edge of the village. Mist drifted like smoke. The flicker of their oil lanterns barely pierced the darkness. The shaman poured the ash onto the soil and began chanting. From the ground, a faint red glow appeared, twisting like veins, leading deep into the forest. Tin Tin stared and swallowed hard. "Whoa, that's like a demon map, isn't it, Master?" "It is the demon's path," the shaman grunted. "Only those with strong life force can walk it." Tin Tin scratched his head. "My life force is kinda weak. I caught a cold yesterday." "You're not weak, just scared. Now move." They followed the glowing red trail. The air grew colder. Not a single insect made a sound. Then ahead in the shadows, 2 crimson eyes gleamed. Tin Tin froze. "Master, it's there. I know. Be quiet so I can chant." The demon hound emerged through the rain, twice as big as before. Its fur glistened black, its jaws dripping saliva, eyes bleeding. It roared, shaking the earth. The shaman stabbed his sword into the ground. "Seal! Activate!" A ring of light burst up, encircling the two. Tin Tin fumbled, pulling out his peachwood sword. "Master, start the spell. I'm ready." "Repeat after me. Heavenly spirits above, earth spirits below. Banish evil. Let holy power flow." Tin Tin took a deep breath and shouted, "Heavenly spirits above, earth spirits below. Banish evil. Let bread power flow." The shaman glared. "Holy power, not bread power. I'm hungry, Master. It just came out that way." The demon lunged. Tin Tin swung wildly, missing completely and smacking the shaman's leg. "Boy, you're supposed to hit the demon, not me." "Sorry, it's fast." The demon slashed with its claws, sending Tin Tin flying into a tree. He groaned, dazed, still clutching his sword. What was that line again? Heavenly, bread, something? The shaman yelled while dodging blows. One more wrong word and I'll feed you to it myself. Tintin scrambled up, shouting, Heavenly spirits, earth spirits, black dog, go home. Stop biting random things. Suddenly, a blast of light shot from his sword, hitting the demon's leg. It howled in pain, black smoke pouring from its mouth. The shaman froze. Wait, that actually worked? Tintin panted, grinning weakly. Guess the heavens like my version better. Fine, keep saying it. Tintin pointed the sword again. Black dog, go home. Stop biting random things. The sword flared bright red, merging with the shaman's magic. Together, they formed a blazing vortex of fire. The demon hound screamed, its body cracking apart before bursting into ash and vanishing into the wind. The forest trembled, then fell silent. When the light faded, Tintin collapsed onto the wet ground, drenched in sweat. Master, I thought I was done for. The shaman sat down beside him, laughing hoarsely. Lucky for us, your nonsense chant somehow had the right energy. Another inch off, and we'd both be toast. Tintin smiled weakly. So, does that mean I've got talent? Like half a real exorcist now? More like half-baked. Master, I'm starving. Got any bread? I need to recharge my bread power. The old man burst out laughing for the first time in nights. The rain eased. Clouds drifted across the moon, dimming its light. Far away, a dog howled, but this time it sounded soft, almost like a farewell. At dawn, Tintin and the shaman stood by the misty fields. The demon hound's gone, the shaman said quietly. But remember, boy, curses don't scare me as much as what breeds them. The real evil still lives in human hearts. Tintin nodded, a mischievous grin creeping across his face. Got it. But if another ghost shows up, let me help again. I'll perfect Bread Power version 2. The shaman sighed. Just go study, boy. The village can't handle another night of your spells. The two of them laughed, walking off toward the sunrise. The morning light spread across the misty fields, chasing away the last shadow of the demon hound.